This is my Ender 3 3D printer. And this is a pile of 3D printed parts. Yeah, so all this stuff was printed on my 3D printer over the course of several days. It took probably 4 days or so to print everything off of here and design it. Well, I designed the next part while one part was printing. These are standoffs for the controller. This is a standoff for the contactor for the DC to DC converters. This is a battery tray, which is in two pieces because full like that, it wouldn't fit on my Ender 3's print bed. So I just made it come in two pieces. And then these are the battery hold downs. So there's going to be a hold down in between the two batteries, and it just bolts down to the floor. So they look kind of dirty because I test fitted them, and it's white PLA. Good. Now you might be wondering, why do I need the standoffs? Well, right when I made when I went to go bring the car down from the garage to the basement the first time, I figured while it was out there, it was pretty dirty. Let me hose it off and get all the dirt off of it. Well, I found water in the battery tray after that. So these will get the electronics up off of the floor of the battery box by about a ½ inch. That way, if any water does get in there, there's not a zappy feature. So, okay, so here we are. You can see all these 3D printed pieces are put into place and mocked up. So there's holes drilled through the floor of the box on everything. So the controller, the contactor, DC to DC, and the auxiliary battery box. There's the hold downs for all of the main batteries. And so just to show you what these actually do, so those batteries have this area here. They fit right in between with a couple millimeters of play. And they're like, they're about 2 millimeters short of the total distance needed, so that when you bolt them in, it'll hold them nice and tight. The only thing else I really need to figure out is right in this area here where the wires come through. I think it's kind of like a firewall type thing. Don't want them chafing up on here, so I need to make something that will attach here and be able to hold the wires and so that they don't get chafed up. But that'll be later. So this is system test number 2. I forgot to film the first one, but it didn't go so well. I plugged everything in, was checking voltages on everything, and turned the switches on. Contactors were working. I put it in the front, forward and reverse switch was in neutral. I put that switch into forward, and that's when all hell broke loose. Car started going. I'm in my basement. Car's starting to move. I'm grabbing it. The switch flips to reverse. The car starts going back this way towards the body. I'm like, shit. And but popped it back into neutral. Crisis averted. It was the longest 2.5 seconds of my life. But, hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll spin tires when tires are supposed to be spun. Let's while that's off, let's check the contactors. There's the main contactor. That's forward. That's reverse, and we're back in neutral. Okay, so now we'll hit the main switch to on. Oh, and just to prevent the travesty of what happened last time, it is on jack stands now, so that the rear tires are off the ground. All right. So we have voltage everywhere that we're supposed to have voltage. And now let's stand back a ½ a foot, and we're going to hit it into forward. Here's where all the craziness happened last time. Did it again. Holy shit. So something with that motor is definitely I don't have it wired up right. Wow, that fucking wheel was moving though. But as you can see how violent that was, I mean, that's what it was happening last time. So, whew. Okay, so it's time for test number 3. The Zele's like right here. There's the brake pedal. So, yeah, test number 3. The first 2 didn't go so well. As soon as voltage would be all right everywhere until I hit the forward and reverse switch, and that's when things would go haywire. As soon as I would put it in forward, wheels would start going. Retraced everything, because at that point it was definitely some wiring error. And turns out what I did was I swapped the motor negative and the battery negative. So as soon as I put it in forward, contactors connected, and it was sending 48 volts to the battery. Oops. So we fixed that, and I went over everything, just make sure everything else was wired properly. And now it's time to test it. So we've got it all kind of temporarily wired up here, but we'll test the contactors first. Main contactor goes. We got forward and reverse. That's good. All right, we're gonna now do the main disconnect. So we should have 48 volts here at the controller. Okay, so we should have 48 volts here at the battery, which we do. We should have a big tangled mess with the wiring. All right. We'll go battery plus to the negative here, 49 there. And let's see here, battery plus is going there, it goes in here. We go to the battery, we go there. So we should be okay. Now for the part where it gets exciting. We're going to hit the forward and reverse switch. Activates, no wheels spinning yet, so we're light years ahead of where we were before. And now we're gonna give it a little gas. Oh yeah! Nice. All right, we'll flip it in reverse. I'm looking at that chain down there, man. That thing is probably could be tightened up a little bit. I'm going to go back to forward one more time and look at it again. It develops a healthy sag right in the middle of it, but we got a working car. Awesome. All right, we're going to shut it back down. Shut that there. Shut that off. We got something. So I was just looking here at the chain, since I was seeing it move around so much with the applying power. I definitely need some sort of chain tensioner there. And it looks like the guy that had it before probably was thinking the same thing and had already drilled some sort of hole there. So I gotta do some research. We'll find a tensioner to go on there and plug that in. So what a great milestone I've hit there. Actually being able to push on the throttle and have the wheels turn and nothing blow up or smoke or anything else like that, knock on wood. It's at a really good spot right now. What I'm thinking now is that need to blow it all apart. Just get it together. Now blow it back apart so I can get it outside, and we'll pressure wash all the nasty dirt and gunk off of this thing, and get the battery box painted, so that can all go back together at least one additional time. It probably won't be the last time, but you know, if we can get it all back together again, that'd be pretty awesome. And then after all that is done, that's when we'll move on to the body, start stripping all this paint. All right, all the stuff is taken out of the box. The box is out of the car now. All the tools and junk that were on here, it's back on 4 wheels. So it's ready to go back out and get power washed whenever I can get to that. Bam! Now we've got this battery tray back in there. We've gone ahead and I've treated the whole top of the frame for potential rust and all that crap. And it's ready to get the batteries and all that crap put back in there.